Morning guys, I'm back again to select some more windows to finish off the hut. Gotta find something that's right. Oh, those ones, they might be the square ones for the windows. It is Thursday morning. This week's video, as you know, going out on Tuesdays is going to be a little bit bitty because it's just little bits of preparation and stuff like that, and a few thoughts thrown in there for the open hut day, which is on Saturday. A couple of weekends ago we went to France for our friend Mike's wedding, and there they had something known as le pissoir. So we've adopted it here. This is now the CORCOVADO pissoir, which apparently is actually a proper word but also doubles up quite nicely. So we're thinking that it's all about just giving a bit of shielding so that it sort of feels like a dedicated space. Oh, and also, I'm gonna run over and show you. Finally, I don't know why I don't bother doing these things. I do all the work of building this thing. I buy the water butt, just never bother hooking them up. And so now we can get some water in there, people can brush their teeth, wash the dishes, etc, etc. And then also, obviously the final thing that you guys keep talking to me about is collecting rainwater with the tarp on top of that. And we will do that very, very soon. Yeah, pissoir working effectively, very pleased. So we're going to actually leave this pen here so everyone can sign who uses it. So we have just pulled up to the Dark Star Brewery, where we're going to get our mobile tap. So the Dark Star Brewery is actually just down the road from the pub. It's literally on the same road, so it's pretty nifty. Here comes a nice barrel of Dark Star. Hey, look at this bar tap. It already looks excellent. It fits so well here. Yeah. It is standing on the beer keg. He's so close. Oh dear. And he's made a good observation. It's probably about time we take the travel reflectors off the hut, given it's almost a year in. And I have just emptied the toilets for the first time because they decompose. I must say, even in emptying them and burying the junk in the ground, they still don't smell at all. I've done stuff in my house that was 10 times worse than that, unblocking drains. And that is just absolutely amazing. I can tell you that the composting toilets work end to end. Oh, it is Sunday morning. We have just finished. It felt like a wedding day. It was like a serious setup. I mean, for 2 days. One on Thursday I was setting up with Andy. Friday 3 or 4 friends came, we did a bunch more, did a tip run, did a massive 200 quid shop, and then yesterday probably had about 50 different people come to the open hut day. And just like it is now, the weather was absolutely perfect. You know, I was prepared for it to rain. We put up a big tarp, we thought that would be still enjoyable, but this was like paradise, absolute paradise. My parents were there, old friends were there, Alistair came and just cooked up a storm. Got 5 local chickens from the butchers, and he roasted them on a bed frame above burning embers from a wooden fire. I mean, I've never seen anything like it. It was amazing. And then I had these random blues musicians come and play who had found me on YouTube that were like surprisingly really, really good. But they bought a little PA system, and then Josh Record played later and used that PA system, and so did Lucas from UCL. Jenny painted her painting, and Ollie filmed the documentary, and it was just perfect. It was just everything I had hoped. Thankfully I was able to say something that I think is the heart of this project, you know, just have a safe space, feel recuperated, reconnect with nature, and then create from that place and offer that out, because that will help. I believe that will help us build a better future. This is where we cooked last night. Made the wood, made the charcoal here, and put it under this bed frame there. And Hugh and Honey, who you've seen before in the vlogs, were the heroes of yesterday, non-stop working to make the whole thing happen. It's still such good weather. Whilst I'm waiting for the train to cross, I just dropped my mate off at the train station and we were chatting and reflecting on what happened last night, and Josh Record came and played, but more than that, we bounced off each other. He played and inspired me and I spoke, and then he played another song and it just got a bit more intense. It got to quite a special place. And then at the end of that, I asked everyone just to join me in a minute's quiet, where we don't do anything, where we just sit and enjoy the present moment. And that can mean different things to different people with different histories, doctrines, disciplines and ideas. But I think that's what I found to be most special yesterday. That's what I feel my job is with CORCOVADO, is to protect space for experience that isn't interrupted by technology or theology, isn't interrupted by trying to explain it away with science. It is human experience in its purest, rawest, unknowable, unquantifiable, unexplainable terms. A deeply ontologically subjective experience that transcends our rationale, our understanding, but not be willing to let people labour it with hanging theological doctrine, not miss it through technological distraction, and not reduce it through scientific explanation, but just to be there, to be present and to enjoy it. And I think we did that yesterday. That's what I want. That is what I want. Today is Tuesday, this video is going up tonight. I'm here with Josh, came a few weeks ago to the woods on this lovely bike. We're going to try and buy some bits today. We're going to do the first experiment to try and figure out tree platforms around smaller trees, because a lot of the cool things you see online are massive trees. We don't really have those, and if we have them, they're protected. That's really for America, but this is trying to figure out how it works for kind of everyday people, everyday places in the UK. Light, agile design that could be moved or changed. Get an extra couple just because we'll lose one or two because we're stupid. Yeah.
Cut lengths and then cut it the size, put them there. You got scaffold boards.
You're nuts, sir. Is that all you want?
I got myself a Von Haus trolley. This is not the size of the trolley I thought it was going to be. It's about the size of my foot. Should still be helpful for something like carrying babies and poorly rabbits, but that's about it. There we go, that's the smallest car in the world, but it looks good. Just got the last bits of larch to finish off the heart and to frame the windows, which will be very nice. Welcome to CORCOVADO. No phones, no fossil fuels, no stress. Very much a version 1 sign, but then everything is version 1 this year. And on the 30th of this month, we will probably be having the last work party of version 1. So if you want to come down, send Trae, T-R-A-E, at corcovado.do an email. I don't know if I showed you around properly, but we made a few steps and we just generally tidied the whole hut up, put the log burner in, got some duvets, got the ply ready to finish off on the work party. This is a 60-year-old Scots pine. It's been planted in order to take it up and sell it for pulp. So we don't want to damage the pulpable bit, but we do want to use its structure because it's so gloriously strong. We've got some struts, we've got some metal poles, but we're just like staring at it, just thinking, okay, where do we begin? It's so fun doing stuff for the very first time, because I look back at some of the original videos of when I was thinking about cooking, and I look back at the pizza that we put in the saucepan, which I was reminded of numerous times this weekend, and you think, gosh, weird how far you can come so quickly, and I feel exactly the same staring at this tree like an absolute Neanderthal going, oh, I don't understand. How are we going to make a platform? As soon as we've done it, it'll be dead easy.
So I think that we have the bolts go between those two.
Yeah.
And therefore we need to cut to about this length.
Okay.
Because then we're tightening here. Do you agree with that?
I think it's all guesswork at the moment. That's the beauty of a prototype. Looks like the day I should have charged my batteries. Jigsaw's gone. Drill's gone. Morale's gone. No, joking. Right, I've got one more drill. I was trying to put the drill bit into this drill, and the flipping case has come off and it won't get the screw bit out, which is great. And I have to say, I think it might be my fault. I think I may have been leaving these tools outside under covers and stuff, but maybe they're just not good for that. Which probably everyone will tell me that's dead obvious. So I think I may have screwed it today a little bit. Josh has come all this way, helped me think about it all, got all the stuff, cycled all this way. This is what patience looks like, people. Patience of a man.
It's a man who really wants a treehouse.
A man who really wants a treehouse. I wanted to give you a bit of a picture of how the week's gone and how I prepare for these events, some of the reflections on them, and then how not to be a noob by leaving your power tools out in the moisture. I will see you next Tuesday, 9 PM. That might be the last Tuesday, and then we might be back to the good old Thursdays. Take care of yourselves, guys, and look after each other. I've just dropped the mobile bar off and I've pulled over because I've been sent a link by a guy called Brett. Change.org to Sajid Javid to reassess UK planning permission laws for tiny houses in response to the housing crisis. Alright, it's got 8,000 signatures. You guys should have a look at it and see if it's the kind of thing that you agree with. This year has not been the kind of year for me to get involved in too much stuff. I'm still reluctant to start picking up the baton for fighting fires because I'm just enjoying myself. I'm not going to try and sit here and make a robust argument, but just talk to your parents or grandparents about the relative cost of housing compared to their earnings and look at the gap between them when they were young and where we are now. It's not realistic. I know firsthand by bitter experience from this year that we can think about building beautiful spaces to live in for 10 grand or less. And if we're going to deal well with the housing crisis that so many hard-working people, nurses, teachers, etc. are dealing with, and have any hope of meaningfully engaging with things like the refugee crisis, we need to start thinking differently about how we live. We need to find a new way of life that can embrace the future. The other article I wanted to point you to is the Tesla article from yesterday, where they have been parading around their new Powerwall and solar panels on a tiny home around Australia. And I was so excited to see this because often tiny homes can be just thought of like old school methods where people are living, going back in time. But obviously, as you guys know, I'm all about living on and off grid, trying to think about what can we learn from the past wisdoms of simple living and being present in the analog reality, and what can we gain from the most progressive technologies. So I'm genuinely so excited to see Tesla parading around a tiny home, because it's kind of basically saying, hey, look guys, the future of our world can involve amazing technology and very, very simple living. So check that article out. I'll put the TechCrunch article below. I don't know if I'll slide this link in earlier on in the video and pretend that I did it during the day, or whether I'll put it at the end. But either way, I'll sign out now just in case. I will see you next Tuesday at 9 PM for the last of the Tuesday night vlogs. Take care of yourselves and look after each other.